Christians, yeah, you don't follow Jesus, and you can't. You follow someone's version of Jesus. Here are the facts. Jesus never wrote anything down. We have no direct words from him, only stories written decades later by people who never met him. The earliest gospel, Mark, was written around 40 years after his supposed life, based on oral traditions that change over time and are shaped by the biases of storytellers. The authors of the Gospels are completely anonymous. The names Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John were attached later by church tradition. Then, centuries after that, councils of men decided which books would be even in your Bible, and which books they would call heresy. This means that every single verse that you read is passed down through the filter of human decision-making. And today, there are over 45,000 Christian denominations, each with different ideas of who Jesus is and what he meant.
Hey, Christians, you can trust the Bible because they are written by eyewitness. Yes, like what he said, it was written 40 years. Jesus Christ died at the age of 33. Yes, 40 years later, the eyewitness was still alive. Matthew died around 70 to 80 AD. Mark, 70 to 80 AD. Matthew, 70 to 75 AD. Luke, 70 to 85 AD. Mark, Luke, and they were written around the lifetime in which the disciples were still alive. So the Bible can be trusted. The Bible can be trusted because of the written by eyewitnesses. And again, if something is anonymous, if they are saying that we can't trust the Bible because of it's anonymous, it does not prove anything. It does not mean anything, because if it's anonymous, they should bring the real proof of who wrote the Bible. They can't bring it. But the Bible, yes, the disciples never wrote their name. They did not write their name because of the situation at that time. Most writers at that time don't actually write their name, but the church knows who they are. Yes, that's why they could actually differentiate the false belief from the false gospel from the true gospel, because at the time of the disciples they were good false gospel. If you look at the Bible, like Galatians chapter 1 verse 6 to 7, it talked about gospel. Look at Galatians 1 6 to 7 says, I am astonished that you are so quickly deserted the one who called you to live in the grace of Christ. You are turning to a different gospel, which is really no gospel at all. Evidently, some people are throwing you into confusion and are trying to the gospel of Christ. Look at that is it. Around the time of the apostle, there was false gospel. Yes, that I know that after I leave, savage wolves will come in among you. I will not spare the flocks, even from your own number men will arise and distort the truth in order to draw the disciples after them. Look at First John 4:11 says that, dear friends, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. Yes, there are many false gospel during the time of the disciples. So there are many writers. Funny thing about this is that we trust the Spirit of God, because Jesus Christ said something about it that He's going to put it in their remembrance. We trust the Spirit of God to actually keep the gospel, not knowledge of men. Yes, why do you think they remove the councils, remove false gospel? Because of facts. Look at to understand true religion. Yes, you understand true religion based on fact, reality on ground, and you understand false religion based on reality that is not on ground. Yes, true religion has facts, and the fact is Jesus Christ. Eyewitness wrote the gospel. Yes, we know that because of the time in which the gospel was written. The gospel was written during the time of the eyewitness. That's around 40 AD. It was written around 40 AD and so on. The gospel was written around 40 during the lifetime of the gospel. Yes, and during that time there were false witnesses. Look at, I did philosophy, and what I discovered in the philosophy I studied is this. Yes, during the time of there are many people, there are many teachers, many writers. Now, in the philosophy now, and during the time of the apostles was the time of the Greek, because the Greek was ruling at that time. So they were teachers during the time of the apostles. And again, during the time of the apostles again, you have people like the Jews, like during the time of the apostles again, they are the Jews again that want to write about mysticism, like they want to talk about mystery. But funny thing about them is that they don't have proof. They don't have proof about their mystery, but they just want to write, keep on writing. That's what brought out the false gospel, like the gospel of Thomas, like Mary Magdalene book, the gospel of Peter, something like that. That's what brought out the false gospel. And look at it. The gospel was written around 40 AD during the lifetime of the apostle. But the first gospel that came out, yes, were written around 100 to 400 years after the apostle has gone. After the apostle have gone. So the people that now differentiate the Bible, the false gospel from the true gospel, knows this. They know the true gospel. See, it was orally, from oral traditions, they wrote it down. It was the apostles, because it was the apostle that wrote it. It was just if you look at Luke chapter 1, verse 1 to 3, Luke said that he investigated. Even John chapter 20, John said that he is the eyewitness, that actually he is actually the eyewitness. So to say that the gospel is not written by eyewitness is wrong. Is not by eyewitness is wrong. Yes, these people that now try to differentiate the true gospel from the false gospel knows this. They know the false gospel. They know that people that are writing the false gospel are actually different, and the message in the false gospel is totally different. Most of it is mysticism without proof. But the true proof in the Bible is Jesus Christ. Yes, the true proof, the knowledge, the foundation of the Bible, of the gospel is Jesus Christ. And any gospel that does not speak about Jesus Christ, but speak about a mystery, does not speak about the death of Jesus Christ, the birth of Jesus Christ, the resurrection of Jesus Christ, is false. It's false. And most of these gospels, if you look at it, don't speak about resurrection, but they talk about mystery that has no foundation. That's how you can know false gospel. Mystery that has no foundation. Thank you. I'm actually at work, so I saw this video. I said to talk about it.